Hi guys, it's me again, I'm Dan and welcome back to another video. So today I am going to be discussing my highlights of 2024. Yes, and we are already in 2025 now. As I'm filming this, it's the 3rd of January, but as I upload this, it's the 5th of January. Either way, it is January 2025 now, which does not feel real at all. I can't believe it's here. I can't believe that it's 9 years since 2016, 5 years to 2030, and just as many years to 2050 as it's been since 2000. Like, what? And I know I keep mentioning random facts like that, but they become pretty apparent as time goes on. Let's go into this. You sort of know what the gist is if you've been on my channel. If you don't, what this is basically just me going through each month of the year and giving one event day highlight of that month of the year, just saying what my favourite point of that month was. Essentially, it's just to go through some of my favourite moments that happened over the last year and just reflect before probably moving forward into this year. Let's just delve into this, shall we? So, January, my highlight was Derby Day, Sunderland versus Newcastle at the Stadium of Light, my first ever Derby Day. Now, I just want to clarify before we go into this further, Sunderland did lose the game 3-0. However, I actually did enjoy parts of this. Even if we lost 3-0, just the experience of it building up, the anticipation of it all, going to the experience of pre-match at a Derby Day, you know, it was pretty awesome and really cool to have that much riding on a football game and being there in the crowd, you know. So it was great fun up until about 20 minutes in, and then Newcastle scored and it all hell broke loose. Anyway, we move on. It was a really fun day, and that was my highlight of January. Then we move on to February, my first genuinely good highlight of this. I personally like the first one, but it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. In February, my highlight was going to the TV Drama Awards for uni to have a screening of all of our films for that module, the police films that we did. We were in different film groups and produced films for the police to promote, Northumbria Police, which were about hate crime. It was a really interesting but quite tough subject to go into and be a part of in terms of acting on screen for that sort of, you know, theme. What we did was we then all screened the films at an award ceremony, and one of them would be picked as the winning film. I was in the winning film, Silent Treatment, big up, and yeah, it was a really great night, just with all my friends, getting to support each other, watch each other's films, and yeah, just, of course, just win and be a part of the winning group. It was really awesome. Not just for that, but also because our film was raising awareness of the deaf community, which is a really important thing I've come to realise since being part of that film. The deaf community does now mean a lot to me because I played the main character in a film about deaf people and played the deaf character in the film, so it is a really important thing which does get overlooked a lot, and it was great and really insightful to have that. So yeah, my highlight for February was going to the TV Drama Awards and being in the winning film. Then we go to March. Now, you might think that picking my birthday is a bit of a cop-out. However, for March, it was my 21st birthday, so it was a big one, and we had to do something. I don't drink, obviously, because of my health condition and various reasons. What I did was I still had a massive scale party. It was lots of things, really. We did karaoke, mostly musical theatre karaoke, although other songs were available. We had like an upstairs and downstairs bit. The karaoke was downstairs. The upstairs was just designated to people who were at my party and then got to go there specifically for me, but downstairs was open to everyone because it was a bar and they had to keep service running, you know. I also had a massive musical theatre cake with all my favourite musicals on. You can see it there, and it's just genuinely class. I love it so much. It was really awesome. Thanks, Mum. My mum didn't make the cake, just to clarify. Should need to point that out. She didn't make the cake. It was my mum who got the cake and got someone else to make it, but that's still pretty cool. Just the whole party was awesome. But then you also had, around that time, I had a chorus line leading up to that, so it made us really happy and enjoy life a lot at that time of year. And I also had Midsummer Night's Dream just after, and I also went on numerous nights out around then. I went on a night out after a chorus line, and I went on a night out after my birthday as well. We went from the venue that I was holding my birthday at to then straight back into the centre of Sunderland, because we were at Roker for my birthday. We got a taxi back through into the centre of Sunderland, and we ended up just having another night out. So, I mean, why not? It's my birthday. Not that I was drinking, but I still have nights out anyway. I've been told good things, actually. I don't drink, but I've been told that me sober on a night out is actually really entertaining, apparently, so I'll take it. Now we move on to April. For April, my highlight was going down to London and experiencing the Odyssey reunion. So obviously in 2023, I did the Odyssey. If you haven't seen my Odyssey videos, by the way, check them out. But we went down to London this year for the reunion where we all got to see each other again and reunite the cast. But we also watched the Odyssey documentary, which is on National Theatre's YouTube channel. And we also got to see the screening of our filmed performance. So it was just really awesome to watch it back again, and I cried. Of course, I cry at everything. But it was just so awesome. Just getting to watch it back again after so long of reflecting on it and taking it all in really over sort of the 7 months or 8 months or however long it was before then. And just getting to watch it back was just immense. In May, this could be a contender for just one of my highlights of the year, to be honest. My highlight was our final showcase performance. And with this, it was two major things within that. So the way Final Showcase works is that we workshopped a bunch of different ideas and stuff for the first term, and we thought about what ideas we could do. Some people didn't because they knew they just wanted to be performers already in the pieces. For some of us, I already knew I was going to go for director and I wanted to have a piece in this show. There was 7 pieces in the show, which were all 20 minutes long-ish, I think, apart from one, which was a dance piece, which was about 12 minutes long. They were all given a full rehearsal process from about January onwards to May. We all worked on our pieces in terms of getting them on stage. In my piece, I was a director, and then I had a cast which I worked with on my mini musical Troubled Waters. My piece was about a group of accountants that work in an office who are based in London, and they all sort of had pretty close friendships at the start, and then those friendships fell apart gradually over about 6 months. It essentially got to the point where it took them to lose one of their friends, which happened to be in the 7/7 bombings, which was completely fictional, obviously not somebody who really died. As principle, it was about that. It took them losing their friend to realise what they had in their friendships. They came back together at the end, and it was a musical, so there was songs in. There was 5 songs in it, and they were called Blind, Living in London, Make Things Right, Without You, and Together Safe. I loved doing it so much. It was stressful at a lot of times. It was really, really hard, but I enjoyed it a lot. The outcome was something I was quite happy with. It wasn't anywhere near perfect. I could do way better now, I think, but that's only because of the experience I had with it and got to, learn so much on the job of directing for the first time. Although I had been assistant director for a chorus line, so it was nice to link that together and, have that experience of being assistant director and learning things about how to do it within a chorus line to then progress to being a director in Final Showcase. So yeah, I did that, but the second part of it was that I also then got to be allowed to perform in another piece, but I also performed in my own piece, so I technically got to perform in 2. I performed in Amy's piece, who was the other top-up to be a director for a piece, so I was involved in the 2 top-up pieces, which was really nice. What Amy's piece was, it was called Save Me the Waltz. It was a 1920s postmodern jukebox style musical, obviously in the 1920s style with lots of dancers, and it was just really, really awesome and great to be a part of. I played Scott F. Fitzgerald, who was the writer of The Great Gatsby, and that's what it essentially was about. It was about him and his wife Zelda and their marriage and how it sort of fell apart and everything like that. It was hands down my favourite piece in the show. It was just incredible. It was wonderful to be a part of. Yeah, for Final Showcase, it was my highlight of May because just getting to direct my own work, but not just my own work, my own mini musical, and then play one of the leads in another piece. It was a lot of work, but it was so rewarding at the end, and I got so much out of it. I feel so much better at both areas, which is the key part of it, and it's just stood me in such good stead moving forward. Now we move on to June. So this one's a little bit more specific. In June, my highlight was specifically the 1st of June, because on that day, so many cool things happened. Me and Gav met up and we knew we were going to go and watch the Sunderland Theatre Company performance of Kinky Boots on that day. Great musical. First time I'd ever seen it, but it was awesome. But obviously we went to see it because our friends Jordan, Joe and Aaron were all in it. Also to see just another musical and see it with Gav as well. It was cool for us to go together. But we ended up running into someone we knew as well who happened to be sitting next to us, which was just crazy. Couldn't believe that. But yeah. But then after that, we stayed around town for a bit. And then later on the evening, we had the Atlas Iceberg Awards meal. We ended up going to the Botanist in Sunderland. We sat around a table and then had something to eat, and then eventually Holly, our director, gave out the awards. As you can expect, if I've put this down as a highlight, I won the Iceberg Award. It was essentially best overall contribution to Atlas for the year. I just felt really, really honoured to have that. I really honestly thought Gav was going to win it, and I thought he should have won it, and I voted for him. I'll take it. I was very happy with it, and it's a pride of place on my wall. all over there. Once we left, me and Gav sort of hung around town for a little bit. It was late, but yeah, we were around town. It was sort of around this time that we'd sort of completely finished up everything with uni, and by that time, we didn't have to contend with any of the final showcase things because Gav was my stager for final showcase, and so we had to work very closely and professionally together. By this time, uni was over. We both kind of, on this day, acknowledged our feelings for each other. It was a lovely night to just sit together and sort of talk about that and acknowledge that. So it did take a few months for us to figure everything out and make sure it was right for us, but eventually did get together, but I'll get to that later. So now we move on to July, and my highlight for July was going to graduation at the Stadium of Light, and of course graduating with a first class honours degree, which I could never have dreamed of at the start of this year. I know I mentioned in my New Year's Eve vlog when I was looking through my future me letter that I predicted I would get a 2-2, and I got a first. How I've gone from really being in such a bad place with my health to graduating with a first, I have no idea, but I did it and I'm so proud of myself. To graduate at the Stadium of Light, which is obviously the stadium where my football team Sunderland play, almost the icing on the cake, really. The coolest thing to get to go around the stadium for every different intricate little part of it. It was inspirational for me because I felt like that was a milestone where I could go, you know what, I can do whatever I want to put my mind to. I've been so doubtful of myself. I've had so much self-doubt and lack of self-esteem over the years, but this was a moment where I was like, you know what, I'm so proud of myself. And like I say, to graduate at the Stadium of Light was the icing on the cake, really. So now we move to August. So this is probably one of the weakest highlights that I've got, but it was a pretty cool one anyway. My highlight is that in August I got to see Come From Away twice after seeing it in London twice. So I got to put my total time seeing Come From Away up to 4 times because it's an insane musical. It's one of my favourites. I think it's in my top 5. And getting to see it twice just with this cast, because I love this cast, it was a chance to see another musical that I loved so much, and I just love that show, and yeah, it was great to see it again. Okay, now we move to September, and my highlight from September was going on a trip to Edinburgh to see A Chorus Line, because obviously we'd done A Chorus Line in March, which I didn't say is the highlight for March, but that's kind of an honourable mention, I would say. Me and Mam went on a trip to Edinburgh. We really enjoyed it and we got to see the show, but also Gav came at the same time because he wanted to see it as well. So, but he sat somewhere else and sort of did everything parallel with us, I guess. He came to see it at the same time. He went around with us a little bit and sort of got to see the sights of Edinburgh with us and stuff. Also he came with us when we saw my auntie as well, which was pretty cool. But yeah, I would say that if I was to pick a specific moment from that trip, it would be that me and Gav, on the day we got there and went to see the show, A Chorus Line, we went to a jazz dance, musical theatre, chorus line style dance workshop. What an experience. Just all of the choreography was so professional. The guy teaching was immense, giving us so many tips on technique and form for dance. It was so insightful. It's probably changed the way I dance. For sure it's improved it. Even just that one workshop, it's done so much for me and given me that bit more knowledge about it. And I felt like it was a good one to do because I felt like I was confident enough to go in there and give it a good go with the jazz choreography, because jazz is probably my strongest area. If I was to pick a moment on that trip, it would be the dance workshop for me because it was just so cool. So now we finally get to October, and my highlight for October is, of course, getting with Gav. It had been a few months, so it had been about 3.5, 4 months-ish between us first revealing to each other our feelings and then actually getting together, which is quite a long time. We actually got together in Mulberry Park in Sunderland, which was really cool. We were looking over sort of the sea view and sitting on a bench. It was just lovely and appropriate for us in so many ways. I mean, there's not really much else to add. It was a lovely experience, and we got together on the 2nd of October, so nice way to start off the month as well. Then we move on to November, and during this month I would say my highlight was going to see the Wicked movie, because this film has completely sent me since I watched it. Like, I am not remotely the same person that I was before I saw it, and I've seen it 4 times now. I've watched it 3 times just as standard screenings, and then yesterday me and a few others went to watch the sing-along screening of it and just belted our lungs out with all of the songs. It has literally become and I'm not even exaggerating, it is literally my second favourite film of all time. My favourite film is Titanic, which I don't really know if it's ever going to get beaten, to be honest, because I love it too much, and I think something would have to be really, really special to beat it. And for Wicked to then get second place on my list, that's it. It's won the year. I've fallen in love with that film so much. As I say, it's completely changed me for the better, to be honest. I do believe I have been changed for the better. Don't go there. Okay, we're not going to sing, so moving on. We go on to December. And my highlight in December was that me, my boyfriend, and my amazing friends all went on a day out to Beamish Museum at Christmas. So we went to Beamish because we wanted to go and see Oscar and Sophie, who are both at Atlas with us, in their performance of A Christmas Carol in the Masonic Hall at Beamish. So we went there to do that, but we also went, okay, we'll go and have a proper look around the museum and everything that's there. And it was just one of the best days I could have asked for. It really made the Christmas season, and the video's done pretty well. It was the best view count of the series, and it's not necessarily because it's an amazing video, but it is a good video because of how amazing the day was, and just getting to feel that Christmas vibe somewhere which is so awe-inspiring already was just something else. And it just kept on giving with every single second that passed. Sharing it with Gav as well, it was just... I loved it so much. Absolutely is my highlight for December. And I didn't go with Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, so that's really creative of me. But there you go, that is my highlights of 2024. I do feel like this is the best year of my life now, and I know I said that last year. I would probably say that it's been the best year of my life. Hopefully it gets taken over again by 2025. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, drop a comment down below, let me know what your thoughts were on the video. And also, please subscribe to keep up to date with my content and click the bell to receive a notification whenever I upload. But as I say, that's going to be it. So that's leave a like, drop a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!